Okay, third grade, so we have been talking about measuring things. We've measured time and we've measured weight. We measured weight with kilograms and grams. And just as a quick review, remember that kilograms are much bigger than grams, okay? Well, we're going to continue to measure something, but today we're going to talk about measuring something that's not necessarily weight. So I have a question for you. Which would hold more water, a swimming pool or a glass? Yes, definitely. A swimming pool is going to hold a whole lot more water. So which one would hold the least amount of water? A swimming pool, a bathtub, or a glass? A glass would definitely hold the least amount of water or the smallest amount of water. Now, the amount of liquid a container can hold is called its capacity. Let me tell you that again. The amount of liquid that a particular container can hold is called the capacity. So, for example, the capacity of my water bottle or my glass is how much water I can fill into it. Now, the glass is going to have the smallest amount of capacity because it can hold the smallest or the least amount of water. Now, there are certain units that we use to measure capacity, okay? And one of those is called the liter. A liter is one unit that we use to measure liquid volume or the capacity of something, okay? Now, a liter is going to be our main one. So like a jug of milk would be about a liter of liquid. Now, just like with weight, there was grams and kilograms, there's also another unit that we might use. So liters are one way, but there's also something that would help we use to measure liquid volume. And liquid volume is how much space a liquid takes up. So how much space all the water inside my cup takes up. So inside of this, there is also another unit that we might use that's smaller than liquid volume, than liters. So we have liters, but we also might measure liquid volume in milliliters. It's another unit that we use to measure, okay? And this one is smaller than our liters. A milliliter is very, very little. It's like a drop of water, or about 20 drops of water, so much, much smaller. So liters are much bigger than milliliters. Let me show you how they compare. If this rectangle stands for 1 whole liter, okay, and each one of these squares is one part of that liter, I would have to put 100 milliliters in each of these boxes to equal 1 liter. Is this sounding slightly familiar to anybody else? Let's count and see how many milliliters we end up with when we do this. So I took my 1 liter, okay, and I broke it into 10 equal parts. Let's count together. So we have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So when I put 100 milliliters in each of these 10 places, I end up with 1,000. 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. Is that sounding familiar to anybody else? Does that sound a little bit like maybe grams and kilograms? That there is 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram, just like there's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter? So just like we can measure the weight of something, we can also measure the capacity of a particular container, how much liquid it can hold, by measuring its liquid volume. And liquid volume is just how much space all that liquid takes up. And so we use 2 different units to measure this. One is liters. It would be like a big jug of milk. But we might have something smaller that we would use called milliliters. And we abbreviate milliliters with an ml. And we just discovered that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So there are some pages you can practice if you want to keep talking about this. And then there's an assignment for you to do using milliliters and liters. And again, like always, if you have any questions, reach out to Mr. Rush or I.